hmm We have an impromptu stream today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm waiting for everybody to come in here before I share my message. I know this was an unscheduled message from your girl, but I feel like this needs to be said for sure. As you can see in the title, you are the prize. Yes, that's right. I said it. You are the prize. And I found it interesting because hello everybody. I found an awesome woman. Her name is Shira. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of her, but if not, ladies, check her out. I'm absolutely in love with this woman. I wish that my mother had told me these things that she is just lacing me up with, all this game she's lacing me up with. But hello, everybody. Pleasure to see you. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend, but it's definitely time for me to say my piece. Ladies and gentlemen, during the Mercury retrograde, I've been talking about this a lot. X is coming back. And, having a test of our faith, stuff like that. Hey, Tanya. And today I did something very big. This relationship from my past, where I was with this man, well, not a man, but I was with this boy for about 7.5 years. We were together forever, at least in my mind, we were together forever. I lived with him, and I think a part of me really took a hit to my self-esteem after everything ended, after dealing with that kind of energy of not remembering that I am the prize, right? So today I was faced with a big decision. Should I let him come back? Hey, Cynthia. Should I let him come back, or should I just continue to do what I've been doing, which is living my life, living my best side. Ain't got time to fuck with you. Right? I'm living my best life, and I feel so much better about myself. I finally reached a point in my life where I realized I am the prize. So I came on here to remind all of you lovely people on here that you are the prize. Period, point blank. Don't ever settle for less. Don't ever settle for a man that cannot provide. Do not ever settle for someone that, if they can't pay your bills, Shira is so right. If they cannot pay your bills every month, you know what I mean? If they're expecting you to go half and half on dates, and if they're expecting you to treat them like the prize, then we need to put our foot down. This goes for men and women, but especially women. We need to start putting our foot down, and we need to revamp. We need to focus on people who do treat us like the prize. Right? And so with my experience, why I wanted to share this message, I had the opportunity to go back to that ex that wasn't treating me like the prize. And he wanted to come back, and, I started noticing the same kind of behaviors, you know what I mean? Like the lying, and, the snooping and the manipulations. And so I realized, you know what? I'm going to block this. I'm done. I am the prize. Shira's right. Don't ever look back. Don't ever feel bad if they're with a third party. Y'all know I've been talking about triangulation, right? I've been talking about third party situations and all the monthly readings. And everybody who hasn't seen those readings, guys, all the signs are up. They've been up. For some reason, they're not going out. But go check those readings out. I noticed a lot of third party references and energy in that. And I realized, wow, I've been playing the game all wrong. I haven't been playing at all. I've been playing myself, right? Like, I've been taking shit that I don't deserve. I'm sure that you guys have experienced this, especially during the retrograde, people that will come back that have disrespected us, that put us second, put us last, that did not treat us like the prize. That's what I'm telling you. And so just listening to this, it's like I knew it, but I haven't been applying it, you know? And so when I blocked this person, I'm not gonna lie, like a part of me was just kind of like, oh God, this is gonna be it. This is your decision. You got to stick with it. Are you sure? Not, don't settle. If you're not, don't settle. If they're not supporting you, protecting you, if they're not being a gentleman, if they're not treating you like the goddess that you are, let it go. Let it go. And something that, and you know what, that's very true, Tanya. Sometimes we do need the confirmation for things we already know. But I think that we forget it sometimes, and that's a big part of it. We have to remember that we have a lot to give. We are worthy of so much more. And settling for less is our own undoing, right? And another thing I noticed just listening to this woman, I've been playing the game all wrong. And I'm not going to lie. I know I have a lot of masculine traits, things like that. And I'm so used to doing everything by myself. But again, playing the game all wrong. We got to let these men start doing for us. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what it takes to remind ourselves that we are the prize, and that's what it takes. But one thing that I'm personally learning, right? Like growing up, I feel like I have been raising these gentlemen that I come across, or these guys that I come across, or trying to, right? I become the mother. I turn into that role. It gets very codependent. But I have to realize if their mother couldn't do the job, I'm certainly not going to be doing the job. And I saw someone ask, what's the problem with paying for half? Well, there are women out there that don't mind. But I know my worth, and there are men that are willing to take care of us and treat us like the prize. And if they're not going to treat us like the prize, then we do not have to settle for 50-50. That's for dusties, right? That's for dusties. And that's so true. I never even thought about it. I never even thought about this, but Eric Thompson, you're canceled, sweetie. No one cares about what you're talking about. See? Just like that, I just weeded out a dusty, you guys. See, it's that easy. You just weed the dusties out. Even if they don't agree with what you're saying, they don't have to agree. They're not who you're looking for. They're not going to be the ones that treat you like the prize. See, guys like that, like, oh, women aren't worth. You don't want trash like that. I don't ever want trash like that. Like, he's getting straight clowned right now because he's ignorant. He's a dusty. And this is why we have to remember, ladies, if we run into men that try and make us feel bad for actually going after our worth, remembering our worth, and living up to that standard as well, not just saying, oh, I deserve better, and then not living up to that standard. I'm realizing right now, cursing a lot. I curse a lot. I haven't been very feminine in my behavior. And I think deep down it's because, again, I'm so used to having to do everything myself. Thank you so much for, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Let me see the chat. It kind of left. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate that. I don't know why he's watching this, Cynthia, but probably because he's threatened with us being the prize. But anyways, I realized that, me cussing a lot, and, I felt like I had to get on the same level as the guys that I was hanging around with, the smokers, the drinkers. But I realized I keep attracting the same kind of guys, like I don't embrace my femininity. And I think that a part of that is because I'm so used to having to settle, or I've allowed myself, rather, not really being used to it, but I've allowed myself to settle for less, and to settle for, dusty broke asses like Eric, who like to argue with women and make them feel bad for seeing their worth, right? And so I feel like I disconnected from my femininity. And I think that happens to all of us at some point, especially when we allow emotional abuse, mental abuse, controlling behavior, and we settle for that. And when we start to subconsciously believe that we are not the prize, we start to put off this vibe. And so I'm starting to realize, wow, like even my pictures, like I know you know, I'm not the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I'm an attractive woman, right? Like we're all attractive women. And so I found myself like taking pictures that were more provocative and wondering, why do I keep attracting guys that just want to smash or whatever? And I had to realize, oh, you're not treating yourself like the prize. You're not, you know what I mean? Like you're not acting the part, you're not dressing the part really. You know what I mean? Like you're attracting, like attracts like. So if they see that, they see my boobs or they see my butt up there, whatever, you know, no wonder I'm attracting dusties, right? Like that's what they like. They want someone that has low self-esteem, that doesn't know their worth, so they can take advantage of her. And I noticed that, and I hate to generalize all men. Not all men are like this. Not at all. Not at all, but it's all about what we'll put up with, ladies. And if we don't remind ourselves that we are the prize, we will continue on and take nonsense, continue to have to put up with abuse and all this other stuff. So that was the message for today. I felt like someone could really use that. I really don't know why. No, you shouldn't feel threatened, John, at all. No, you shouldn't feel threatened at all. But what I'm trying to say is there are men out there that will take advantage if we allow it. They'll test you, right? Also, if we are not living up to our quality of life, our standard, our own standards of what we want out of someone else, then we won't attract that. So I'm learning this. And keep in mind, you guys, I have a narcissistic mother, so was never taught this. She's very codependent. She caters to the guys, always wonders why they do the same things, you know, why they cheat, why they do this, why they do that. It's what you settle for. Period, point blank. Like if you don't feel like the prize, they're not going to treat you as such. So that is the message of the day, ladies. And to all of you who get this, let me know your comments below if you're feeling it. Whatever you've been going through during this Mercury retrograde, let it out. You know, walk away from anyone who did not value you in the past, because if it happened before, it'll happen again, honey. And if they didn't value you then they certainly won't know how to value you now. So, gender pride, pink pride, being proud of being a woman. I was going through this for so long. Society devalues women too, even in the workplace, white collar, blue collar, and pink collar. Yes, and I also feel like, you know, our own viewpoints of ourselves could be our own demise as well. I've realized that. Like I've learned to accept that on my behalf. It may be different for other women, but I realize that like attracts like. And I cannot continue to settle for less if I know I deserve more. Period, point blank. I understand in the workplace, you know, there's a lot of inequality with that, especially with women getting paid less rates and all of these things. But see, like me, you know, you might as well break out and start in a niche. Like I've been looking into real estate. I've been looking into, you know, how to start your own business, anything artsy that you're into, makeup, shops. I mean, there are so many ways to not only supplement said income, but if you find a man that is willing to treat you like the prize, you won't have to worry about that. And so that's my journey right now. I feel like I'm really wanting to get in touch with my femininity and to get in touch with finding someone who will treat me like the prize that I am. Find someone that will treat you like the prize that you are. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being independent and taking care of your own business. But there's also nothing wrong with allowing others to cater to you, especially when you've been catering to other people for so many years and getting nothing back. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, oh, happy early birthday, Leslie. Yes, girl. God is definitely good all the time. Ladies, what happens when you do treat like women and they do not appreciate your actions, what then? Not saying that I will ever stop treating women good. I respect that, Stephen, and that's great that you do. Well, first off, don't stop doing what you're doing, but you need to stop doing it with the wrong women. Same as us trying to change a man, trying to do things to basically appear in a different light to someone that does not value us to begin with. So, Stephen, what I would suggest to you is to just stop, right? Like, just stop. Find someone who will appreciate what it is that you have to offer, because it's not fair to the men either, right? Like, if they are treating women like the prize and they're getting spat on, then what's the point in you continuing to produce, right? I mean, it goes both ways, women and men, right? I definitely believe this. And I don't discriminate either. I know there's a lot of women that are just like, I just focus on the women. Okay, that's fine. Women's empowerment, that's great. But at the same time, it can go both ways, right? My friend and I had morals that didn't line up, and despite my intuition saying it was wrong, I never had the respect to leave. Recently, I've gotten up and left and moving on from a toxic situation. That is beautiful, Bella, and that is exactly where you need to be. If it is not aligned with your higher self, and if it does not make your soul feel good, then be done. No matter how much it may hurt initially, no matter the history, just let it go, and you will find something much better in the long run. But the focus needs to shift back to ourselves, I feel. We need to stand in our own power and be authentic, and too bad who does not like it. Exactly, and I completely agree. I completely agree, but we need to stop settling. We need to remember that we are the prize, man or woman. If we are good to those around us, we're nurturing, we are supportive, we have a lot to offer, we're smart, whatever it is, whatever our qualities are, we should be valued for that. Period. And if we're not, then why stay? If someone just wants to treat you like a fling, don't give it up. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Like the old me would have. The old me would have jumped all over it. Yes, my ex is back. Oh, we got to get, But at the same time, now I'm in a different point in my life. I don't want that. I don't want a fly-by-night, meaningless encounter. I don't want someone that can't take care of themselves, let alone take care of me, right? Like, I don't want that. I want someone to match what I'm bringing to the table. Matter of fact, no, I don't want someone to match it. I want someone to match it and then some, right? Because why not? There are people out there willing to show their appreciation and gratitude for what it is that you have to offer. So go get it. Doesn't matter if you have to stay single until you get it. It doesn't matter how many people you have to reject and walk away from until you get it. This is about us now. And I have a great feeling that after the retrograde, I'd say the second week of April, once the shadow period is over, we will fully come into who we are, our power. We will have a different belief system, a different outlook, a different perception on not just ourselves, but our relationships, our lives. And besides that, we will be implementing what we learn. And once we've implemented these lessons, we will be unstoppable. We will be a force to be reckoned with. And with that being said, remember, ladies and gentlemen, you are the prize. And if they don't value you for the prize that you are, say goodbye. If they don't appreciate your presence, make them miss you with your absence, honey. And on that note, stay blessed, not stressed, you guys.